today's video, I'm going to talk about 10 ways to improve the worst Marvel Legend of 2022. Now, I'm going to give us 5 ways Hasbro could have made this figure better and 5 ways we can improve this figure on our own. First thing that Hasbro could have done to improve this figure is double jointed elbows. I mean, it's so simple, but yet so effective. For the second and third things that could have been improved on this would be the ab joint and butterfly joints. We should have got butterfly joints. They could have gave us the same type of ab crunch that they gave to the new Black Widow or their Power Rangers Lightning Collection waves. As you can see, this figure has very limited mobility due to the single jointed elbow and the ab crunch or the non-existent ab crunch, as well as the thick plastic skirt around her legs. Which brings us to the next problem Hasbro could have fixed, which was give us cloth, skirt or something, so that it didn't hinder the motion in her legs so much. The last thing Hasbro could have done to fix this figure is very simple. Just give us an unmasked head. Now for 5 ways we can make this figure better. First, let's get rid of this hard plastic scarf. I'm going to replace it with a cloth scarf that I found on eBay for about $7. I scrunched it up a little bit so it'll look like it's flowing in the wind, and it's also wrapped around her neck like it is in the show. It looks pretty good to me. Now we can show like mobility with her using these, swept in the wind kinda. It gives her some dynamic poses when she doesn't have any. Which leads into the second thing that we can do to improve this figure. Some effect pieces. Not sure why Hasbro didn't include any. She has so many different powers and they could have given us anything. Speaking of anything, they gave us effect pieces with the first one. So if you have this one, you could actually take these arms. They're very similar to the ones that we have on this one because it's not double jointed, and come up with this. So how I made these was I got resin, mixed in some purple tint, and did these hands. Well, I covered them in this resin and I hardened it with the UV light. Now I know I cheated a little bit because I said I'll give us 5 ways, but this is the worst Marvel Legend of 2022, so I really can only give us a bunch of different ways for one. So you can do different types of shields and things like that to try to use her power. So I have a shield here, it's kind of curved so it can look like it's covering her. Glass type of thing she's like jumping on, and I got like a diamond edge to some of them, so some are flat and some have these little diamond points on them. That's pretty cool. Then we can also do a much larger version of these, which is awesome. We've got her with some effects made out of resin on her hands. The cool thing about this is we can actually find different ways to make bigger shields and bigger types of effects. A large energy platform that she stands on, she can use to maneuver around through the skies. She's sort of like Marvel's Green Lantern. So you can think of anything you want, just come up with, use some resin, put it together, and you'll have a perfect effect piece. Next week's video, I'll show you how to make some more pieces for these figures in honor of the Marvels.